So hi, my name is Jesus. I'm here at the Community Centre Allotment in Nuthurst. I will be holding a class today on espresso shots, how to get the best extraction for the espresso shots and steaming milk, how to do different drinks such as cappuccinos, flat whites, lattes, even how to do some latte art if people would like it. We'll be going through the machine, the grinder, and just making sure we've got cafe quality drinks there. So yeah, I'll just do a quick rundown of the tools that I'll be using today. These are tools that I personally find essential. Of course, we've got our portafilter, our grinder, our pitcher to steam any milk if you like any milk drinks, our tamp, our mug, and then one of the most essential parts is a scale. So if you're trying to get consistent quality coffee, you need to weigh your coffee beans coming out of the grinder out. For this machine, I found that 20 grams works best, so that's what we'll be using today. If you're trying to get the best quality coffee as well, and you have a coffee grinder, you want the grind to be quite fine. You want the coffee shots to be coming out anything between 25 and 30 seconds. That's what we aim. Unfortunately, this grinder is a bit difficult, and I've not actually been able to make the grind size any finer. So the shots are coming at about 7 seconds, which we don't want that, but it'll be okay for now. So you get your portafilter, you weigh it, you get your beans. That's 18 grams. About 23 grams, so what I'll do is I'll just put some of the already ground beans. I brought some beans from one of the best coffee roasteries in the UK, so they're ground fresh. Best quality beans always be ground fresh. So you want to get your coffee. I do it like this. Some people have specific distribution tools. You can use a spoon. You can literally grab a spoon, but you just want to make sure that coffee is level. So I always hold it like this, just there, and that will not damage anything. You're going to get your tamp, make sure it's level. I use 3 fingers, my thumb, my pointer, my middle finger, just like so. Hold it to the sky, press as hard as you can. You'll have a perfect bed of coffee to work with. Run some water through the machine, because sometimes there's coffee still in the actual machine itself. And insert it, get your mug. The only button you'll press is this double shot espresso here.
The first one?
Yes. If you want a single shot, I would still recommend using this button. You just put your mug here. Yeah, you just split the shots, exactly. And just run a double shot. Now this will come out very, very quickly compared to a lot of coffee places. Unfortunately, again, because of the grinder. If we had a better grinder in terms of like you can really make it really fine, then this would ideally be coming out at about 25 to 30 seconds. Once it's done brewing, you can get your coffee. You'll have a nice lovely crema on top. The crema is created by CO2, especially with freshly roasted beans. I believe these beans were roasted about 2 weeks ago, so they're very fresh, and because they were ground also this morning, you get a nice lovely crema. The good way to see if you got a good extraction from your espresso is if you have no cracks in the puck. If you have no cracks, that means you had absolutely no channeling. Channeling is when the water goes through the least path resistance, so you get an unbalanced shot and it will taste either bitter or sour. In commercial coffee machines that you'll find in most cafes, the espresso comes out about 93.6 degrees. The machine is a bit older, so maybe you can't keep temperature that well. So that's just a byproduct of this machine's so we heat up the cup beforehand and steam it to 65. And I want you to imagine the middle point. That's where you want to insert the steam onto. So rest it on the spout, and you want it to be right in the middle. I'll get to that in a second, yeah. So you want that to be in the middle, and then you want to tilt your jug so the steam wand is in between the actual pitcher and the middle. If we imagine that's the tip, and there's liquid, you want the liquid to sit at about there on the tip. When it starts spinning, because you want to create a vortex, when it starts spinning the milk, you want to lower your pitcher, so you want to go like this, to start inserting air. That is what's going to create the microfoam that we want for either cappuccinos, flat whites, lattes, latte art in general. And then once you have steam to your milk in terms of adding air. You want to put it back up, and that vortex will redistribute that microfoam that you created on top all throughout the drink, and that's how you get the silky coffee. And so you hold it like this, 60 degrees, too hot to touch, take your hand off, turn it off, you've got 60-degree milk. But again, if you're more comfortable using the thermometer, please do. It's, again, making coffee is about what feels most comfortable to everyone. Doing it the correct way, of course, but most comfortable to everyone. In regards to where you want to tilt it, again, personal preference. I go to my left. Most people that I've worked with actually go to their right when they're steaming milk. But so that's how it'll look when you're steaming.
Yep.
When you turn the steam on, now this will make a very weird sound because we're steaming water and it has no fat content. So that's why I'll steam some milk in a little bit. So you turn it on, turn it up, start spinning. Where the spout starts, at the very bottom, that's where you should be. If it's too high, then when it's spinning, you're going to probably burn yourself. If it's too low, the milk will burn very, very quickly. And we don't want people having bad taste in their mouth. Regarding milk, does anyone drink alternative milk, such as oat milk or soy milk? Oat milk? Yeah. So oat milks, they are a bit more complicated to work with, especially if you don't have any kind of barista oat milk. The difference between barista oat milk and regular oat milk is that barista oat milk will technically have more fats in it. The more fat content you have in your milk, the better microfoam redistribution, the silkier it will be. Which is why it's pretty much impossible, and you'll never find at a cafe, that people will steam with fully skimmed milk. It's practically impossible to get good quality microfoam and to get good quality texture throughout. So at cafes we use whole milk or semi-skimmed. If people want it, that's our skimmed option. Oat milk is very similar to semi-skimmed. So I'll show how to steam oat milk while you're steaming a semi-skimmed. The properties are very, very similar. The fat contents tend to be quite similar. There you go. You've got some silky milk. This is about a cappuccino. I know a lot of people like cappuccinos, so I'll make a cappuccino here for you. You want it to be glossy, have a little bit of shine, and then when you do this, you see you have some actual texture. The reason why I'm also swirling it is if you let it sit, all the foam will rise to the top. So you want it to swirl. And then if you really want to get extra fine microfoam, put it into a different pitcher. By putting it into a different pitcher, you'll have even better quality milk. I'll just pour. Gonna incorporate your milk.
And what's that one called?
This will be a cappuccino.
Sorry, would you mind going through again the difference?
Yes, of course. And then you got a nice little drink.
How did you do that?
Some people even put chocolate on it. I don't. That would be what you'd get at most coffee shops nowadays if you ask for a cappuccino. Flat white has less milk and less foam.
Yeah.
A latte has the same amount of milk as a cappuccino, just less foam. Cappuccino has the most amount of foam. Every single shot, at least in most coffee shops, you will have a double shot espresso.
With semi-skimmed, or you?
Yes. Now it will be a little bit foamier than regular milk, which is a shame. Split some of the foam.
Because it's more foamy?
Yeah, it is quite a bit more foamy. Again, more of a cappuccino.
That's actually you
There you go.
wasted coffee practice.
That's pure magic, isn't it?
There you go, we got a semi-skimmed milk. I can already tell the things are a little bit too firm again, which is okay.
Okay.
So that's the way that you'd mix. After you steam milk, you just want to purge it out. Yeah, that's good. It's kind of like coffee. After you get your shot out, you kind of just want to do the same because you'll get some nasty coffee brown water from it. Stop that. Then you want the steam one to be in the middle. So if you imagine the lines again, lines going through and across. Yeah,
So like
there you go,
that.
perfect. And then you just want to tilt it to either left or right, wherever feels most comfortable for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you just want to turn it on. The other way, yeah.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way. There you go. And you just want to pull down. And stop.
And that's enough.
Yeah. Press it. It should come.
Okay.
Should be 0 in a second. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it'll be 0. So now you can get your coffee beans. You just insert it there, and then you just pull that. Yep. You want to get 20 grams. It's 15, so you need 5 more. Yeah.
Yo.
Tamp it down.
This is always really scary, this machine, and I'm thinking why. I think it's mainly because there's always something wrong with it.
There you go. So now you just lock it into place. Yeah. Every single coffee has a base of a double shot espresso, including espressos, macchiatos, lattes, cappuccinos, flat whites, americanos, long blacks, everything like that. The difference between some of the milky drinks is a flat white will be less milk and less foam. When you are incorporating foam into the milk, a latte will be the exact same amount of milk as a cappuccino. It will just have less foam. Cappuccino will have the most amount of foam. If you're having a traditional cappuccino or a dry cappuccino, as now we call it, it will be the most amount of foam, and that kind of just put it on top. But then you have drinks such as a long black and Americano, which are a bit more complicated. Americano came from America. When the Americans got to Italy in World War II, they wanted an espresso with water. They got Americano. And then a long black in some places, it's just a shorter Americano, so you have less water. In some places, it's if you put the espresso shot into the water or vice versa. It can get a little complicated. It will differ from coffee shop to coffee shop, but the main drinks that people like, the milky drinks, flat whites, least amount of milk, least amount of foam, latte, same amount of milk as a cappuccino, just less foam than cappuccino. Cappuccino is the foamless one.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Giovanni.
the coffee.